Thank you. Mrs. Please.
Welcome, Mrs. Vassiliou. My question regards the new competence in sport following the Lisbon Treaty. How do you propose to implement an EU sports policy that will focus on the grassroots of sports? After all, this is where the most good can be done in terms of developing sport in conjunction with other challenges such as obesity and participation of youth in society. What are your plans for a sports policy that focuses on the development of sport at grassroots level, but also with regards to professional sport, which unfortunately a lot of the draft legislation has focused on, particularly football? Will you also consider other minority sports as well? And how will you deliver a sports policy that is for all sport and not just for football?
Vassiliou.
I do regret that I couldn't finish my introductory speech because the last part was devoted to sport. I do regret it. But I want to stress that for me, sport is really a benefit and can give a lot of benefit to everybody. Because it's not only the economic dimension of sport, but it is the societal part of sport which is so important. And grassroots sport it should be one of the bases of our policies in sport, because it's good for health. And I know because not long ago I organized a special conference for youth and health, and sport and physical activity, of course, is one of the most important sectors of that. And also, in order to mobilize and energize all the young people that we have, through sport is the best way. Teamwork, volunteering, through sport is the best way. And I must tell you a personal experience. I had the pleasure of working with the Special Olympics in Cyprus some years ago. I accompanied our national team to 2 international events and 1 European. And I will never forget the benefit that those children took from sports. And some of these children are now independent human beings. They work in various businesses and they have made a life for themselves. So sport is really a basis for our future, for our young people.
Mrs. McLaughlin, another question?
Yeah. Thank you for your emphasis on the importance of sport. I totally agree. It will play a big part of your portfolio as well, I hope. Are you a sports fan yourself? And what understanding do you and your team have of the governance of sport and how sporting organisations operate? And how will the sports unit work within your DG?
Thank you, Madam Vassiliou.
I have to be honest with you. I am a sports fan. I'm not particularly a football fan. Well, I may become one. I may become one, and I don't mind becoming one because my grandson is very interested in sport. My father is interested in football, so I am tempted very much to learn. But for me, sport is not just football. It's tennis, it's basketball, it's volleyball, it's swimming. I am a good swimmer, by the way, coming from an island. So I was very much involved in sport when I was a young person. I am still doing physical exercise because I give a lot of importance to that. So sport, in effect, will be, I will give a lot of importance to sport, and I'm a good learner. So whatever I don't know, I will learn from my services. I have excellent people in my services and very devoted to sport, and I'm sure with their assistance and their help, I will also be in a position to carry this part of my agenda forward.